Project Montauk, The Mind Machine and the Rift. Camp Hero, Montauk Point, New York, August 12, 1983, 03 a.m. Lightning crackled across the sky, though no storm was forecast. Deep beneath the radar tower, in an underground lab forgotten by the public, men in white coats surrounded a reclining chair wired to computers, dials, and a human brain interface. A boy sat in the chair. His name was Duncan. He was one of the Montauk children, and he was about to bend reality itself. Origins of the project officially, Camp Hero was a World War II coastal defense station long since decommissioned. But in the late 1970s, it became the home of Project Montauk, a black-budget continuation of the MK Ultra program. The goal wasn't just mind control, it was mind creation. Backed by the CIA and later elements within the Department of Naval Intelligence, Project Montauk's objectives were rumored to include telepathy and psychic warfare, remote viewing and consciousness projection, time travel via electromagnetic manipulation, contact with non-human intelligences. It was codenamed the Phoenix Project Phase 2, a continuation of research started at Wright-Patterson AFB and Brookhaven Labs. The Montauk Chair. At the center of the experiments was a device called the Montauk Chair. Linked to a complex of computers salvaged from old SAGE radar systems, the chair amplified psychic signals from gifted subjects. Certain children, usually abducted or taken from broken homes, were said to have the frequency for transdimensional influence. Duncan, the strongest of them, could project thoughts into physical form. In one test, he imagined a beast. Within minutes, base personnel were attacked by a shadow entity that appeared in the lower tunnels. No one speaks of what it did. The 1983 rift on August 12, 1983, the experiment reached its peak. The goal, synchronized with an earlier version of the Phoenix experiments conducted in 1943 aboard the USS Eldridge, what later came to be known as the Philadelphia experiment. The result, a time loop, a tear in reality, a rift in space-time. Researchers reported seeing flickers of other worlds, strange beings watching through electromagnetic mirrors, and future timelines collapsing into each other. One scientist screamed, "We're not alone! We were never alone!" Another reportedly disappeared, never to return. The power had to be shut down. Duncan was pulled from the chair. But the damage was done. Something came through. Some say a gate remains open under the Montauk base to this day. The aftermath, the facility was abandoned. Entrances were sealed with concrete. Employees were scattered, given false identities. Duncan and others were allegedly cloned or memory wiped. But over the years, whistleblowers emerged. Preston Nichols, a former technician, wrote The Montauk Project. Experiments in time in 1992. Others described underground chambers, non-human beings, and communication with the Greys and Nordics. The radar tower still stands, powered down but pulsing occasionally at 406 milliamperes, a frequency known to disrupt human cognition. In 2008, a satellite passed over Montauk and registered a brief spike of tachyon radiation, a particle associated with faster-than-light travel. It was dismissed as a glitch. Epilogue, Montauk Point 2023. A group of amateur investigators sneaks onto the grounds. They find rusted hatches, sealed doors, and magnetic interference with their cameras. One discovers a tunnel half buried in sand and roots. They hear a low hum, like a machine idling for 40 years. One of them, a sensitive, claims they heard a voice, not with ears but in their mind. The experiment never ended. You're part of it now. The feed cuts, only static remains.